Good morning, children. Welcome to biology class. Today we'll do chapter 11, sense organs. Children, you must have heard about the sense organs, and you all know about the sense organs, that there are 5 sense organs in our body. So the sense organs, they enable us to aware of the conditions of our external as well as internal environment. The major sense organs in our body, they are the eyes, ears, tongue, nose and skin. And they are sensitive to various things like light, sound, taste, smell and touch. Sometimes there are also the sense of balance, body movements, hunger, thirst and pain. Now the actual sensation, it is perceived by the sensory cells which are located in these organs, and they are known as receptors. So receptors, they are any specialized tissue or sensitive cell to a specific stimulus. Now come to the eyes. The eyes, they are 2 eyes and they are located in deep socket, which are known as orbits on the front side of the head. Now the upper and the lower movable eyelids, they are present to protect the outer surface of the eye, and they can shutter out light. Now these eyelids, they carry the eyelashes which prevent falling of larger particles into the eyes. Next part of the eye is the eyebrows. Virtually they are not the part of eye, but they are protective in nature. They prevent the raindrops or the trickling perspiration from getting into the eyes. Now the tear glands or the lacrimal glands, they are also located at the upper sided portion of the orbit, and there are 6 to 12 ducts of the gland. They pour the secretion over the front surface. So here see the lacrimal duct gland, then here is the lacrimal duct, then this is the lacrimal sac and nasolacrimal duct. Now these are the lacrimal duct. Now the movement of the eyelids, it spreads the liquid, and this liquid, it serves as a lubricant in the eyes. Now the tears, they also wash away the dust particles because they have the antiseptic property, and the enzyme lasgen is present which kills the germ. These ducts, they drain off the liquid into a sac which is lying at the inner angle of the eye. Now a nasolacrimal duct, it conducts the secretion into the nasal cavity. Sometimes we experience a medicine drop in the eyes, in our nose and even in the throat, because of the presence of this duct. Sometimes due to irritation or in certain emotional states, the tear gland pour out a liquid which waters the eyes or overflows as tears. So we shed tears both in grief and in extreme joy. Now let's see the structure of the eye, children. So here the eye, it is a round ball like structure, and it has 2 chambers, the vitreous chamber and the aqueous chamber. Aqueous chamber is also filled with a fluid, aqueous humor, and vitreous chamber, it is also filled with a fluid, vitreous humor. Now the eye, it has 3 layers. The outer is the sclera, middle one is the choroid, and the inner one is the retina. Now this sclera, it in front of the eye, it forms the cornea part, whereas choroid, it forms the iris part, and retina, it forms the inner part of the eye. Now children, it also has the yellow spot and the blind spot. Yellow spot is meant for bright vision or the best vision, whereas blind spot, it is area which of no vision. Now this lens is present which is suspended with the help of suspended or the suspensory ligament, and the ciliary bodies. Now, an outer layer is also present, which is transparent in nature, and this is known as conjunctiva. Let's start with the conjunctiva. It is a thin membrane which covers the front part of the eye, and on the cornea part it is reduced to a single layer of transparent epithelium. Now, the structure of the eyeball, it has three layers, as I told you children: the sclerotic, middle choroid, and inner retina. It is the sclera, it is a tough tissue and it is white in color, and the white condition in the front of the eye is the sclerotic layer. Next is the choroid layer. Now this choroid layer, it is supplied with blood vessels for providing nourishment to the eye. It contains a dark pigment known as melanin, which prevents the light rays from reflecting and scattering inside the eye. Now this choroid layer, it expands to form the ciliary body in front of the eye, and the smooth vessels in the ciliary body, they alter the shape of the lens. Iris is also an extension of the choroid, which partially covers the lens and leave a circular opening known as the pupil. The blue and black color of the eye, or the brown color of the eye, it refers to the color of the iris. Now this iris, it contains the radial muscles which widens and circular muscles to construct the pupil. The adjustment of the size of the pupil, it regulates the amount of light entering into the eye. Now the pattern and arrangement of the iris muscle, it is unique for every individual, and therefore these are also a source of an individual's identification. Now the third layer is the retina, which is the innermost layer and it is sensitive to light. Now this retina, it contains two types of cells known as rods and cones. Now rods, they are sensitive to the dim light, but they do not respond to the colors. They contain a pigment known as rhodospin or visual purple. Now the cones, they are sensitive to bright light and they are responsible for color vision, and they also contain pigment known as iridospin or the visual violet. Now the eye, it has two main areas, the yellow spot and the blind spot. The yellow spot, it is the best vision of eye, and it is also known as macula lutea. Now the rods and cones, they are not distributed uniformly in the eye. The yellow spot, it contains maximum number of sensory cells, particularly the cones. So this is the region of bright vision and also the color vision. They have fewer cones and more rods rest of the eye. Now the blind spot, it is the area of no vision. It has no sensory cells and therefore this is the point of no vision. Now here is the comparison of rods and cone cells, children. Now the lens. It is a transparent, flexible, biconvex crystalline body which is located behind the pupil, and it contains transparent lens fibers. It is collectively held in position by fibers known as suspensory ligament which attach to the ciliary body. Now the ciliary body, it contains muscles which on contraction and relaxation changes the shape of the lens for viewing objects at different distances. I told you children about the two chambers of eye, aqueous and vitreous chambers. The aqueous chamber is the front chamber between the lens and the cornea and filled with aqueous humor, and it keeps the lens moist and protects it from physical shock, and it also reflects the light. Now the vitreous chamber, it is the large cavity which is filled with the liquid, and this liquid is known as vitreous humor. And it helps in keeping the shape of the eyeball, and it also protects the retina and its nerve endings. So this is all for today, children. In our next class, we'll learn how to see through eyes. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.